So it's episode 3 of our podcast as Unedited. This is a podcast about relationships in a big sense of this world and also about our relationships.
We talk about what is alive in our relation right now. We also want to refer to your proposals or questions, but we want these videos to represent our process. What is happening right now in our relation, where we are at our big bold journey, like the movie we watched yesterday.
Yeah, by the way, we can recommend it after. How do you feel?
I'm nervous, like I had a lot of resistance today.
Yeah, I feel like this episode is getting born with efforts. It's like there is something complicated. But I assume that we're gonna touch some maybe complicated topics for us. Because as you know, we are recording these videos without any script. It's all unplanned, this conversation which is happening here now. And it's very alive. On the one hand, it gives a lot of energy, but at the same time, it's super, I don't know, I feel big responsibility and I feel very nervous. I still need to get used to this feeling. So, yeah, as Chris just mentioned, we have our conversation based on the comments under our previous videos, based on the questions he sent to us. So one of the questions and one of the comments was about this situation which happens when one of the partners, usually a woman, tries to express her needs, and this already triggers some tension in the partner, in the other partner.
In the male, no?
In the man, yes. And it's already perceived in a specific way, as if this message goes through some filters, some specific filters created by, of course, previous experience, traumas, family scenarios, different things, and then it reaches the partner already changed, and it already kind of provokes a weird reaction, I would say.
Weird for you.
I see that I'm already stepping on the bomb.
I think the best is to talk what is our history with this, no? That once you arrived here, we started to live for the first time together. We got married, no? And we started to live together. So for me, it was like a big responsibility to receive you here and make sure that you will be happy here. I think this is important thing to say, that I felt responsible for your happiness.
Yeah, you were kind of hosting me at your place. This is your home. This is.
So there is like rational part behind it, no? Because you moved, you changed location.
Yeah.
I stayed where I was living. I didn't change the flat, so for me it was easier. But also behind this responsibility for the happiness of the other person, there is a big contribution towards how I react later to your request. Because in my case, and this over responsibility for the happiness of the other person generates a lot of tension and a lot of anxiousness and And in our dynamic, we saw it many times, no? That I was overdoing, maybe still overdoing, overprotecting, overcaring in the moments when it's not needed. And then when there was a real moment when you were expressing some needs, my limit for giving was already full. I had no space to hear a request on top of everything what I thought I was doing.
Can I interrupt you?
Of course.
Because something weird is happening to me now. I hear you talking, I hear you saying things, but I don't hear anything. I mean, I'm in super weird space now. I don't know.
Maybe because this subject is still alive between us, no? We don't have this, we don't talk about something which we fixed and now it's working, no? I think even in those small situations before even starting the video, I already felt some this criticism, demand.
Yeah, I asked him to change the body position because like
Yes.
we should sit properly in the camera, and it was already the reason to be kind of upset.
Or
Because,
triggered.
yeah, because even this request, it was already taken as criticism. So this is the topic of today's video, and this is one of the main topics we are going through as a couple, because in everyday life, partners interact and we interact. And there are like everyday requests, very basic ones. When you share one space, you have hundreds of requests, like bring some water, please. Can you bring the pill? Or do the dishes, please, or whatever. And even these basic things, they're sometimes taken as a demand, not as a request, and as an expectation, not as just something really ordinary, you know, like when you don't put some special meaning. There is no like double meaning in this request. And it's, when I'm talking, I already feel how I'm tensed. And when we care about each other, we really try to find a way how to make the other one feel good, you know, how to put the request in such a phrase that would not trigger the sensation of being criticized. You try to, I try, and I also know that you try, I see that you try to like find a soft frame for this request. But anyway, we
So in the
we
beginning,
stumble here.
in the beginning, I was very picky on the words you use, no? And I was like, in the past, influenced by non-violent communication. And I was very picky about how you phrase the request.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of fights about this.
Yeah, because if I may add, I felt like it's a super task for me to be conscious every second of my presence with you, and to think properly over each word. And so it's like a super task, and I got very exhausted very fast. And I was trying to explain that I have no bad intentions from the beginning, you know, like basically by default, I have no bad intentions. I'm not criticizing, I'm just
This is important what you say for me, that about this intention, no? Because I was aware that you had no bad intentions. However, the emotional load behind every request for me was so big that I was not able to not to see it as a demand. Because I had this and still have this vision of being a perfect husband, no? Perfect husband, perfect man, perfect partner.
which is a Superman task. And
so if I want to be perfect and you say something about what I don't do or about something what I do wrong for you, or something that I don't
could do better.
Yes. Then it was difficult to hear.
Yeah, it's like a hit to this image of a super person, and that you're already trying to make so much efforts to be perfect, and then any little comment under which there is no intention to criticize you, but still like maybe even with an intention to help you. Oh, maybe you do this like this, like to ease your life, but this even care and attempt to help and support, it's already taken again as a criticism, judgment, and this blow to your
image,
yes.
ego, no? Because what is behind shouting is the ego, no? If I want to be so perfect and you see my imperfections and you talk about them, you ask me to change, to adapt, to adjust, and I had already this thing that I'm doing so much, then it was difficult to hear it not as a criticism.
Baby, you're perfect to me. No, I'm not joking now. Because you just said a very important thing, that if you see my imperfections, the thing is that I'm not seeing this as imperfection. I'm not seeing it, you are already good enough to me. I already chosen you. See this ring on this finger? By the way, there is a story we will tell later about it. I mean the fracture. But it's like this. So what happens in my hand, in my perception of you, and what happens in your head and in your perception of yourself, these are like two different universes.
Yes, and it's normal, no? That what you say I interpret in my way. And this concept of good enough, I think is very useful, no? For me, it helps me to
calm down a little bit,
to forgive myself the errors, the mistake, the things I'm not doing in the way you expect.
But there is the reason for behaving like that. Like there is some story behind
and
it.
And this is, well, we could develop this for hours, but like I work in the therapy for years, no? So the reason always comes from the dynamic with the parent and the childhood. So I was aware about this, but I think that since the whole my life, I was choosing the partners who didn't trigger this. And this is also interesting in terms of choosing the person, no? Because sometimes people say we don't match because we trigger each other too much, no? That we are not a good match. But now I think in our case it's
be careful
opposite.
what you're gonna say. You are stepping on the thin ice.
I think it's opposite, no? The ideal match for me is you, and you will trigger me a lot. And you trigger me already, you had triggered, and you will trigger me a lot. This comes from this fact that this is the best match. That's why there are so many triggers. No? I don't know what's your view on this. I see you're nervous.
No, I'm like being in this conversation. I'm on and off. I'm connecting, disconnecting, and I see like you're also like in your space. And I would prefer you to be here with me. Maybe I need this, eye contact or something, because something is happening. I'm very fast losing the main focus of our conversation. And we are talking more about you now, like you are saying sincerely about your imperfections, as you said. But there is also my part. And here I become very vulnerable. I even want to cry here. Because This dynamic is super heavy, because sometimes when I have my requests and taking my history and my idea of how I should operate in relationship, where I avoid being a burden, where I try to be like helpful. I try to bring some value, like physically being okay, doing things by the house, making my money, being, like independent. So for me, it's super important to avoid the situation where I attack my partner with demands. So I would never call myself a demanding person. I would never call myself a person who has like too many expectations from the partner, because in my picture of the world, I am doing a lot of effort, making a lot of efforts to to ease the life of my partner. And then when I articulate some requests and I see your reaction and I hear your response that it's demanding, it's too much, it's criticism, it's judgment, then I feel, honestly, I feel like
You are the burden.
I'm a burden, and I feel like desperate because I know how much effort I made, to avoid this. And then in my picture of our relationships, I don't ask much. I ask like for some basic things, and yes, I started to think more how I sound. Like maybe I really sound like a teacher at school, do this, but no.
I think it's important to say that how I hear you is sometimes outside of your responsibility. No, you can play with the words, but how your request I hear, it depends on me, no? Because we were in this trying to find the way how to say, and as you said, you put a lot of effort to be
Like neutral.
neutral,
yes.
But still, it was not enough, no? Still, it was not enough not to trigger me.
Yeah, like even now when I ask her to change body position, it was already something where we could easily go into a fight.
Into a fight, yes.
Into a conflict, at least. Okay, fight is a too strong word.
I think in every man and also in me, there is this little boy who wants only to be praised by the mother, no? Who was never hearing from the mother that he is doing something in a wrong way. And
like him a little pumped by the mother, like ego was pumped, boosted.
And then because this contact is no longer active with my mother, then I had this tendency to search in the partner for this mother, no? And any demands are outside of this picture, so then I felt not loved, criticized, not being enough. So that was a big work for me, which I still do, because the grown-up man wants his wife to feel safe. No? I think the safety.
Solved it. I get it. Yes.
I realize that this.
It's number one priority for me to feel safe.
Okay, can I explain more deeply? No, because there are different types of the relations. No, there are relations when the woman is in the masculine energy, and then it's very important, so they earn the same amount of money. So different relations. But I like when you are in your feminine energy, no?
Me
I
too.
like when my wife is in feminine energy. Then what is the most important for you to be in the feminine energy?
Tell me.
Safeness, that you feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
So when you express your needs and you hear resistance or even judgment, then how you can be safe in your feminine energy, no?
Yeah, honestly, it's true. It's true because each my request to you or each my question when I want to understand the situation, why you choosing this or that, why you doing this or that, this is for me to have this safety that, oh, now I understand the motivation of your behavior. Okay, I feel calm, I feel at peace, I feel safe. Or when I ask you to do something, it's also for me feeling good. A little egoistic and selfish, but yes, each of us is looking for our own comfort in relationships, and this is very basic comfort, safety, protection, and because it gives the sensation, whew, now I can breathe out, I'm at peace, and I can move on to the needs of like higher priority, like I don't know, we can think about kids, we can think about any other.
Maybe safeness can mean for different women different things, no? We are a kind of traditional relation, no? Where I like to be in my masculine energy, doesn't mean that I don't have feminine, no? And you like to be most of the time in your feminine energy, no? So for you, safeness means being in feminine energy, because for someone else, safeness could mean I am in control, no?
Yeah, and it's a learned pattern. It's something that they developed as an adaptation. You know, it's some coping mechanism. So it doesn't mean that people and women may consciously choose this and they like this. Most probably not, but this is something that they can see as the only option possible, or something that they've been to many, many times. I'm talking now about abstract women, but I also can say it from my own experience, because in my life, I've been forced to be independent and be responsible for myself, because I lost my mom quite early and I couldn't rely on my dad because he was addicted to alcohol. And like, I kind of was going through this life relying on myself only. And it's something which I'm used to, you know. So I'm used to being active. I'm used to being in my job even, you know, being quite active and initiative. And I cannot sit alone without inventing some project. You've seen it yourself. If I don't have work for a few days, then I will create.
Yes, you are very good in creating work.
Because this is something which I learned. And by doing this, I kind of guarantee my tomorrow. I kind of guarantee that my work will be stable, I will get income, my job will be in demand, and by this I just cover my basic needs, you know. But this is a survival strategy for a single person. And when I'm by myself, and when I was by myself, and I felt okay with this, and it was like under control, you know. My life was in full control. It was organized pretty well, and I knew that if I do this, the consequence will be this. If I don't do this, the consequence will be this. So I fully took this responsibility on myself. But when I let you in my life, I couldn't stay in this dynamics, you know. I couldn't stay in this like independent mode, because this is a masculine
mode. No, you called it survival mode. No, when you have a family, you don't want to be in this survival
exactly
mode. No?
I
you want to grow and to
yes,
flourish, no?
and to first share these things, because when I'm by myself, I was mostly operating in this masculine energy. Other women can operate in different way. They can be weak, fragile, little manipulative, little, you know, like there are different
waves of survival.
ways of survival when you're alone, yes. But my approach was this more masculine, but it's super exhausting and it's not my major energy, you know. So when we're in the couple, if I stay in this mode, in this masculine, aggressive, active, you know, then it changes what happens between us. And
that's why we are good match, because I like when you are in your feminine energy. No?
Means I have my requests. Means I kind of expect.
Exactly.
I need to admit this.
Admit it.
At least what I was organizing for myself. When I was alone, I was like this and this. They were my pillars, you know, which gave me this support and stability in life. So when I'm with you and when I'm like taking this risk to open up and share my life and change my life mode, means I expect that at least those areas will be covered, you know.
So this is the big transformation which I'm still going over, no? Because another dynamic also which was preventing me and not helping is feeling guilty. Feeling guilty because you are not happy. So this is another pattern from the past.
Which you decided for yourself that I'm not happy.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So that was another thing which was not helping me to hear those requests, and so that was this transformation, no? To be able to realize that if I want this female energy, I need to provide, no? And this is something which is very sensitive, I think, for many men. This subject of providing, which in many relations it just comes to the financial, but it's not financial, no?
It's not only.
It's not only financial, but financial part is also important. But this model of providing, no, which many people can criticize that the man provides, but this is this dynamic for you to feel safe and to be in the female inner energy, which is my wish. I am giving this structure, no? I'm providing those things, and I'm accountable for providing or not. I'm on purpose saying accountable because when I say responsible, this triggers this guilt sometimes. So this shift, how I see it, it's still a lot of work. To understand that this grown-up man, I provide for my egoistic, no, wish to feel female energy from you, no? So this is also a kind of.
But this is where we give and receive. So I think that this is the balance, actually. And talking about this providing and women demanding or expecting, this is like a very delicate subject, because in mature relationships, when both partners are mature and they're conscious enough, then there is no conflict in this. Or giving, no receiving, providing, and like being feminine, being masculine. There is no conflict in this, because both partners are ready to give and to receive. There is, it's like there is much more clarity in how they interact. But when you say this to some immature person, a woman or a man, really like not grown up, not mature enough, then it can bring different sensations about it. Like, for example, men can start resisting, saying that, oh, I feel used, or they need only money from me, I only give, but what I get in return. So they kind of start complaining about this, while a mature man really feels okay in caring, you know. Same for a woman. If you bring this subject to a not mature enough woman, she would be either in this demanding position, like bringing this contrast that you are a man, you have to. And I'm a woman, I don't have to do anything. So it's like a little egoistic and
immature, no?
Yeah, because a woman also needs to give. She's also giving, and it's not just.
I think
It's not just this.
what woman gives, it's quite often not seen fully. No, there can be men like me who get used that mother gives something, and they like expect it for granted. They don't value this. No, they don't see fully this as a gift, as that you are
as
giving,
care, as an
yes,
effort,
yes.
and that's why I demand sometimes from you. Thank you. Like really, I push him to say thank you for very simple things, like for making food, for I don't know.
Also for giving space, no? That in our relation you give a lot of space for this emotional part.
Yeah.
And it's also a lot of giving, no? So I think it's important in every relation to talk what we give really to each other, to make it like
even and balanced.
Doesn't have to be even in every moment, no, but to make it clear what really I'm giving, not in every moment, but what I'm giving, what you are giving, so the awareness is common, to avoid that I think that I'm giving something and you don't see it because maybe you don't need it, or
to
it's
avoid
not
this
seen,
feeling of unappreciation.
of unappreciation, because then this feeling of injustice triggers anger and all the fights. So like in our case, it helped me a lot when you were talking about what you really give, especially in this area of emotional container that I took it for granted. No?
It's nice to hear. Yeah, so yeah, we can.
But it's a long way to
develop this.
But it's a long. It's not easy to. Or that I will listen to one podcast or someone will told me and I will now change, because it's not what I think, but how I internally feel those things. So first, to open the mind to hear it is just the first step, because from hearing and understanding to really feeling this, physically it's a short path, but it's a long way.
Yes, and sometimes it takes
Yes.
A lot of this conflict energy.
Yes,
Sometimes we need to go through many conflicts, and this is another topic I think that we can develop, the topic of conflicts in future episodes. But this is something which most couples try to avoid, believing that, oh, if we are arguing now, then we are not a good match or something wrong is happening. But actually, this is a very healthy dynamic to be in some argument, to be in conflict, because it's okay, we're different people. First place, we're different universes. And it's okay that our universes are not mirroring each other fully, 100%. Yes. So it's okay, and well, it's just sometimes it takes a lot of strength, and I don't know, a lot of live energy to go through these conflicts. Because as we mentioned, just some tiny request may trigger already this feeling of being guilty, not good enough, criticized, judged, and it's super hard to like let it go. You know, not to be triggered by these feelings. You're already there, so it works like this: a few seconds, and you're already in this toxic sensation. Because guiltiness, is, the feeling of guilt, is super toxic. And of course, the natural reaction is to protect, is to defend, and this defense sometimes is, sometimes is takes the forms of an attack.
Also, I think it's important to say that 90% of the dynamic from the conflict is not from our relation.
From our current
context,
yes.
No? That the reasons, how we hear things, what wounds it opens, it's in the deep past, and there is sometimes very little what is really happening in our relation and creating a big conflict because of the past wounds. No?
Yes, so I can just use one word which you could have heard many times before.
Which I heard when I was a little boy, or I imagined something, and then it triggers, as you said, this aggressive response, protection. No?
Yes.
Because it comes to the safeness that men also need to feel safe in the relation. No? An unsafe man who feels attacked by the woman, they will constantly protect themselves.
Yeah, very fiercely, very aggressively.
With emotional absence, with shutting down, with criticizing that the women are too sensitive, too demanding. So all those reactions are really protection mechanism of the wounded man who doesn't feel safe.
And imagine if a woman who has never been in therapy, who has like no interest in psychology, or who has little experience in her previous relationships with men, how she can understand that, oh, he is hurt, he's just protecting. How she can take this understanding position and open her big container and, okay, let's accumulate all this inside, and she would probably feel unseen, unimportant, unappreciated, or unsafe, and run away.
That's why I brought this subject about matching. That if we don't trigger each other, doesn't mean we are a good match, no? Because we are perfect match, and we trigger each other a lot. Why? Because we have a lot of wounds from the past, and in this close relation,
there is a chance of healing.
There is a chance of healing, but also we got triggered, no?
Yeah, and we shouldn't take our relationships as this healing medicine. Of course, we have psychotherapy, we have family therapy, we have much support from the outside, because if we're just using our partner to heal our wounds,
no?
this is, yes, and it's unfair.
Yes, what you said for me is very important, that this healing cannot happen because of the relation. No? Healing has to happen outside, on individual work of the both partners. No?
Yes, and again, this is a
second. Men, on therapy, and sometimes, like in our case, we also work in the couple therapy, no? Because sometimes it's also good to bring couple therapy to have a new perspective on what is happening, no?
I think this is a topic for another episode, because I already want to share many important things which I observe in myself while we are together working in the couple therapy. What I feel, how it helps. I think it's super important. It can motivate other people. But to summarize what you said, that not only women can feel unsafe. Men also can feel unsafe. They also seek for this safety and protection and comfort. And if they don't, they can react in this learned way, attacking, criticizing, gaslighting. Yes, it happens a very ugly way, but it takes place. So there are many, many ways of how men can signal subconsciously about his being unsafe. And it's good to not to put a diagnosis straight away. Oh, he behaves like this. I've read that it's narcissistic disorder, or I've read that this is like a borderline behavior, whatever. And why straight away? No, it's good to understand what's happening with you, why you choose to behave like that. What was my contribution to this? So this takes a lot of conscious work, if honestly. And that's why our relationships sometimes are not a bed of roses, but a battlefield. Yes, we are synchronized, very aligned.
Hulk and King Kong.
Godzilla.
Sorry.
Yes, I'm Godzilla, he's a Hulk.
Fighting each other. But like in my case, my safeness is very much related to being appreciated.
Same for me.
Yes, but then here is this difficult part for me, because how to feel appreciated if you ask something and I feel it's a criticism. You see? So it was work for me to understand that I'm appreciated not for being perfect, no? Not for perfection. Because if I have this construct that I'm appreciated only when I'm perfect, that every request will trigger this, I am not enough, I'm not appreciated, I feel unsafe, I start to protect.
Yeah, because in this case, you kind of try to guess and try to do something in advance. You kind of anticipate what I really
doing
need.
many things which are not needed.
Yes, which
and
I don't
using
ask.
this energy, no?
Yes.
So I was all the time in this anxious overdoing because I wanted to be perfect. And then when the real request comes, first I felt unappreciated because I was already doing a lot. Then I felt not safe, because if I'm criticized, I lose my safeness, because my safeness
you
only
lose
depends.
Your shield.
I lose my shield, and what I do, I protect myself, and how I do this, aggressively attacking. No?
Yeah, and what I feel that wow, my basic request, my very simple request, provokes such a reaction already. So it's just this very basic level. What if we start expanding our family? What if we have kids and we're engaged in a more serious context of relationship?
If you break a hand?
What if I break a hand, and we'll come to it now? Then how can I feel? Can I trust him? Can I rely on him? Can I ask something else, or I shall rely on myself only? So it gives me so much insecurity when I see this a little bit exaggerated, to my mind, reaction to my basic request. Then I cannot feel secure, I cannot feel safe. I'm like, really? I feel disappointed, I feel alone.
So I think
I feel alone.
No, right now?
No, don't hear it, please.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I need, some pauses in moments of connection.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can move on. You forgot what you want to say?
No, I didn't. No, I think that many women, because you were speaking of, no? You were telling this to me very clearly, and it was super challenging to hear it, to listen to it. But many women in this situation, they make themselves small.
Yes, they shut down.
They shut down.
They're silent.
They stop asking for things, and then instead of growing and flourishing, they slowly die. No? And then this attractiveness in the couple disappears. No?
I mean the man, the sexual energy,
everything, no? And then it can very easily lead to the split, no? Because for the man, she lost her attractiveness.
I already feel so much anger when you say this.
But I
It's
think
like
it happens,
here my
no?
Godzilla is getting out of me, my inner Godzilla.
I tell this also for the men to make them aware that how attractive my partner feels depends a lot how I treat her.
Yes.
If I make her safe,
Cared, loved, and if a woman feels all this from her partner, then she flourishes. She's a flower, literally. She looks much, much better than alone. If the other way around, this is the question. What happens in relationships that a woman starts looking worse, like she's fading, her energy is vanishing?
because she may become this perfect mother for the small boy. If I will not grow and I will not leave this position of the small boy and I will push my partner to be my mother, this ideal mother who sacrifices herself and is doing everything for her son, then she will not grow. No?
Honestly, in the beginning, it was a lot of
Yes,
this
it was
pushing.
a lot of this.
Yeah,
yes,
I felt
of
so
course.
much pushed in this position,
Yes.
of course, subconsciously. But I was like protesting a lot against it, and that's why we had many conflicts. But it takes really super consciousness to understand it, what's happening, and to be loyal to yourself, because this is where we can talk about this self-betrayal. Because yes, we want to be in relationships, we love this creature. Yes, and like really, like I will talk about myself.
Oui, like pluribus.
I was really like, I was torn in between. One part of me wanted to make you feel good, to hear all your needs, to satisfy all your needs. Like really, I wanted to make you happy, and I thought that yes, it's my responsibility. With me, yes, you should be happy. Now, like, I'm so special. This is another topic that I need to make you happy. All the rest could not, but I will. Like a typical codependent behavior. Yes, but the other part of me, thanks God, heard these needs, heard that something is happening wrong, that I'm not happy. I'm talking now, I have goosebumps on my body. My body was speaking loudly that no, something is going against my nature, against my needs, and against how it should be. And that's why like I was in this conflict, and that conflict was brought into our interaction. Yes, you like, because it was a hard work. It was a journey, and we are still on this journey.
It's interesting because many times, like, people get married and then they say, "Oh, she got married and she stopped taking care about herself." But when you talk about your body reactions, quite often it can be this, no? That the dynamic changes in the couple after getting married, and the body pays, no? Like in your case.
Yes.
But it also can happen with the men, no? That they don't feel safe in the relation, and then they...
If they're not aware of this, body starts talking, body starts changing,
yes,
or they just, their behavior changes. And it's not because they were pretending being someone else in the beginning, but just there is something happening which first hard to catch and understand, and second hard to talk about. So this communication is a must in a couple, but sometimes we're unable to stay in this in this understanding position, because when the partner starts talking about, look,
Emotional trigger is too big.
Something is happening. I feel sad. I feel like I lost interest. I feel depressed. So the other partner takes it's like it's his fault. It's like, oh, I did something. Or with me, he feels like that. Oh, it's my responsibility. Oh, he's blaming me. And then again, this dynamic starts unfolding. So it's super important to have a support from outside.
I think every couple and also we have the patterns of entering the conflict and getting triggered. And we are now learning in the couple therapy to recognize those patterns. Maybe it could be for next one of the next videos when we learn it. We could also share about this. And it's very important because the emotional amount of emotions is not from here and it's killing the relation. It's just killing the relation because the old wounds open and we each other like put a finger in the wound of the partner and
bringing more pain.
It can kill love at some point if not healed. And we were also at this with this danger, no? That we saw it. The amount of pain which was unfolded is so big, unlocked, and we were both aware it's not from here, but the pain is real. The pain is real. Maybe I imagine what you want from me, but the pain is real, and this pain can kill love if not healed. No?
Yeah. So when you feel this incongruent reaction, or what I mean, the reaction is...
You're using difficult words.
Yes, that's why I'm trying to explain. When the reaction is bigger than the situation, when your reaction is stronger, maybe exaggerated compared to the situation, means that your trauma is alive and you are mostly reacting from this trauma. So your partner is not guilty, is not the bad guy now. Somehow he activated this wound in you, but it's not him who made this wound. It's not him who caused this wound. He is not the reason. But we feel all this pain and it's super like flooding, you know, it's like tsunami which comes in the moment.
It's impossible to think in this moment,
you just have all this bunch of sensations from this traumatic situation from the past, and you cannot even control yourself.
But they seem that they are from here, no? I remember that it's your fault, it's because of you, you are demanding. So to be in this stage when I can recognize you are not causing this, it's already a lot of work. It's already a lot of work to be able to recognize that this pain is not from here. And then to choose to react differently, it's a hard work.
It's shifting slowly, because in the beginning I used to call you a tank. He was a
Russian tank?
A Russian tank.
We had something in
White
common.
tiger. It's not Russian, but anyway, like literally you were like pushing with your defensive reaction so strongly that it was super hard to stay in feminine energy, to be flower Marina.
You were not.
No,
in the
I was turning
energy.
into Godzilla to protect myself from this tank, of course, and then you can imagine a battlefield.
Yes.
So it's
so beautiful memories. But I really believe that if the partner is the best match, she will trigger everything in me, because I want to be healed. And I will not be healed by avoiding those things. So the partner who will not trigger in me those things, is not it means something. It means that I'm not connected so deeply, no?
Still avoiding.
And I see more you triggering me as the opportunity to get healed. But it's difficult because you can die in the process.
Yes,
you can fucking die in the process. That's why external help is needed.
Yeah.
No? I went for the therapy. We went for couple therapy. I would do a lot of work in the circle of men, because alone between here,
Let me say, yes, continuing, I can die in the process. For now, my body takes all the
you paid a lot with
energy,
this.
yeah, because I see that I changed. Like I put on weight, I must admit, yes.
Problem with two.
And it's a completely defensive reaction. Like my body feels that, oh, I need protection, and I really feel that this is reaction to stress, because we're just 6 months together. We just celebrated this anniversary. It's a big victory for us, big win, big achievement.
But problems with sleep, waking up in the night,
problems with
going
sleep.
to the toilet 10 times at night, those are all...
Yeah, because kidneys start working.
Yes,
Kidneys are responsible for all this cortisol, for all these fears, for all this...
The thoughts which cannot be stopped in the night, or...
Anxious behavior, compulsive eating,
compulsive sex. If together, then it's okay.
We better not develop this subject. And this, for example, it can be also considered as part of all these dynamics. Like we went on our belated honeymoon. We went to the mountains, just returned, and we were snowboarding, and it was my first experience of snowboarding. I was given hopes. My instructor said that I'm very promising. Yes, I'm a fast learner. And on the second day, by the way, remember, yes, that I felt so unsafe somehow. I already woke up after a heavy dream. My subconsciousness was giving me some messages, which I clearly understood. So when we came into the mountains and I started my class, I really felt so much insecure that, of course, I fell down and I injured my right wrist, and in the end it turned out that it's a fracture. So now I have to be with this thing, with this guy, for a month and a half at least. And which means, yes, which means, look, this is the leading hand for me. I'm developing, of course, the skills with the left hand, and I'm improvising here as well. But anyway, it means that I need to give the upper hand to my husband. This is where, again, this balance of feminine and masculine energy comes, where I have to ask many more requests, where I really let myself be more dependent on you. And this is a very challenging. It's very challenging. I'm exposing myself to a higher vulnerability and fragility.
Especially that you have this fear of not being a burden.
Yes.
And now you can be a burden. So maybe it's a
good chance.
It's a sign from the universe. Be a burden. Sometimes.
Easy to say, yes, because for me it's like you can imagine what I face now. It's like I'm not useful. I am defected. I cannot serve our relationships 100%. Let's say I need, and I need to ask about it. And for me, it's super scary. What if one day you give up and say, you know what, I'm tired. You know what, you're too demanding. Or like if you literally become exhausted yourself serving me in this situation. This is really my fear, that it can somehow affect our relationships. But it's super healing for me. Because I have this limiting belief, it's pattern in my mind, and it's super complicated to break it, to develop a new way of being in relationships. So, thanks to this, I can try at least.
But for me, it's also an opportunity, with this my tendency of overdoing. Now, when there are really things to do, which you ask, I can learn really to do the things I'm asked for, because I know I will be asked for the things. I need to like conserve my energy to be able to do this, so I can have more clarity and not overdo if not needed.
Yeah, because in the first days you have this tendency to be like everywhere.
And to understand, for you it's important to dress up by yourself,
Myself,
no?
yes.
So okay, she will suffer, but she may need this, no?
I also try to, find this balance where I can do things myself or where I really need your help. Because I have this danger of doing everything myself. Suffering, being super uncomfortable in this process, but still doing things myself, not to be a burden. This is still strong in me, it's true. So I need to kind of not to go into this extreme, but also not to go in the different extreme where I like use you fully.
It's still attractive.
It's attractive, Maybe a little bit I can allow myself. Maybe like for a day or two.
Situation.
For a day or two, we can experience this to explore how it's gonna be when I really fully trust on you, like fully let myself be weak. Because when I said that, this is another extreme, I felt inside that maybe you need to check this extreme at least a little bit, because I'm so far from this. I'm so far from being demanding. Let me be demanding a little bit.
I get you.
So we can experience this.
But it is also about me being able to put my limits, no?
Yes, I want you to put your limits too, because no, what I wanted to say, I was thinking about it, that with you trying to be Superman.
Why you do this face? Do I look like this when I overdo? If yes, I will stop doing this.
Because then it's kind of becoming a pleaser, and I don't like pleasers.
Yes.
Yes, I don't like pleasers. It's not sexual to me. So.
She said this.
Yes, so I was thinking about it, and for me it's important for you to hear, maybe I'm tired also, or can we do it later, or also hear yourself in this process, also be
aware,
sensitive to yourself.
Also not to arrive to this moment when the only answer will be fuck yourself, no? Because if I constantly don't respect my
limits.
My limits. It's not only that I become this pleaser and I'm not sexual, but at some moment it will be passive aggressive or it will be aggressive. The only answer will be exactly.
Yeah. So it's like a test for us,
to have this healthy dynamic, no?
Yeah. So this is a helping hand to us.
Very beautiful.
Yes, very beautiful. Let's see. It's first time in my life. It's challenging. It's challenging. But so far, he already has become my personal hairstyler.
So the responsible for this beautiful hair is me today.
Exactly.
Maybe I will open a new service.
Maybe, yes. A future source of income. So we will always survive, baby. Okay, I think we're closing up. I think the energy is already to finalize this video. It will be very helpful if you react with your comments and questions. Don't be shy. There were a few questions about our story of relationships, but it will
go for the future, maybe.
Yeah.
I think this subject is very important, and maybe we will come back to it.
Yeah, because
it's like a base for the relation.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we put it clearly, and it was beautifully aligned. This topic, it was a little bit messy, probably, in the way we discuss it, because we discuss this every day, and for us it's like he says a few words and I already understand what he means, and I'm like yeah, and our conversation is like this, but maybe for you it's not that clear, and you need digging deeper in this.
I think everyone
open.
will take from this what they need, no? And we did what we could.
Yes, this is our beauty. This is our
Canarian Christmas tree.
Canarian Christmas tree, and this is our Christmas episode.
Third so far. So we wait for your comments, for your feedback. And
maybe yes, we will update you how is it going after a few weeks, how we are dealing with these requests, being feminine, being masculine, being giving and receiving. Let's
not being
see.
criticized.
I'm curious about it.
Me too.
Okay, kissy kiss.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.